Danish Prince Christian finds himself in an unfair situation. In the gilded halls of the Danish royal palace, where the scions of the House of Glucksburg have long wielded the mantle of power and privilege, a storm is brewing that threatens to upend the very foundation of the kingdom's social order. At the heart of this tempest stands Prince Christian, the eldest son of King Frederick and heir apparent to the throne, whose seemingly innocuous actions have sparked a national reckoning over the role of royalty in a modern, democratic society. The controversy first erupted last month when reports surfaced that the young prince had been caught driving under the influence of alcohol, an offence that would typically result in a hefty fine and a suspension of one's driver's license. But for Christian, the consequences of his actions have proven to be far more complicated, as he found himself in the unenviable position of navigating the murky waters of royal prerogative and public perception. Rather than face the same legal penalties as any ordinary citizen, the prince was swiftly whisked away from the scene by his security detail, his transgression all but erased from the public record. This preferential treatment, in the eyes of many Danes, has only served to reinforce the perception that the royal family exists in a rarefied sphere, immune to the same rules and regulations that govern the rest of the populace. It's a slap in the face to every law-abiding citizen who would face severe consequences for the same offence, lamented one outraged commuter, his words echoing the sentiments of a growing chorus of discontent within the kingdom. If the prince can simply wave away his mistakes, how can we have any faith in the integrity of our judicial system? The backlash has been swift and unforgiving, with protesters taking to the streets in record numbers to demand that Prince Christian face the same penalties as any other Danish citizen. Rallying under the banner of equality for all, the demonstrators have accused the royal family of perpetuating a system of elitism and entitlement that undermines the very foundations of Denmark's vaunted social welfare model. "We are a nation built on the principles of fairness and egalitarianism," declared one fiery speaker, her voice thundering across the crowded square. Yet here we have a prince who believes he is above the law, a living embodiment of the very inequalities we have fought so hard to overcome. The palace, caught off guard by the ferocity of the public's response, has found itself in a delicate and precarious position. On one hand, the monarchy must contend with the growing tide of public outrage, lest it risk a further erosion of its legitimacy. On the other, the royal family is acutely aware of the potential consequences of subjecting the heir to the throne to the same legal penalties as the common citizen, a move that could be seen as a concession of weakness and undermine the very foundations of the crown's authority. "It's a no-win situation," lamented one palace insider, speaking on the condition of anonymity. "If the prince is seen to be treated differently, the public will cry foul. But if he is forced to face the same consequences as everyone else, it could set a dangerous precedent that the monarchy simply cannot afford to allow." As the debate rages on, with pundits and political analysts weighing in on the implications of this burgeoning crisis, the Danish public remains steadfast in its demands for justice and accountability. The once untouchable prince, once the subject of fawning adoration, now finds himself cast in the unfamiliar role of villain, his every move scrutinized and his every misstep magnified under the unforgiving glare of public scrutiny. For King Frederick and the rest of the royal family, the stakes have never been higher. The future of the Danish monarchy hangs in the balance, with the very legitimacy of the crown now inextricably tied to the outcome of this ongoing battle over the principles of fairness and privilege. The path forward is fraught with uncertainty, and the world watches with bated breath as this Nordic kingdom navigates the treacherous waters of a constitutional crisis that threatens to redefine the very nature of its social contract. One thing is certain: the plight of Prince Christian has become a rallying cry for a new generation of Danes, a clarion call for a more equitable and just society that refuses to be cowed by the trappings of royal power and privilege. The future of the monarchy may well hinge on the outcome of this high-stakes drama, as the House of Glucksburg is forced to confront the harsh realities of a world that no longer views the crown as a divine, infallible institution, but rather as a reflection of the people it serves.